Hello everybody and welcome to my show. My name is Jason DaCosta and this is Consistent Preterism. Thank you for joining me today. It has been a while, at least a week or so since I've last checked in, and just wanted to say hi, just wanted to check back in, give you guys an update. I appreciate you subscribed, I appreciate you checking in, tuning in, listening, engaging, commenting, liking, all that fun stuff. And obviously we're going through it a little bit, aren't we, here as a nation, as a planet? It's a little concerning with this virus, isn't it? But hopefully we're on the downturn, or at least getting close. Maybe we do see some light at the end of the tunnel. Who knows if that's the truth? I've been hearing Trump say that. I've been hearing others say that, but you never know. But I sure do hope. So obviously I haven't been producing audios, just been very busy. I can't recall if in one of the last ones, my last check-in videos, if I mentioned anything about these protective face masks that my company is getting into now. So we as you know, we sell dental equipment, and when this all went down, the dental offices, for the most part, shut down. Some of them are still doing, different things, but they're certainly not buying anything. And so the business on that side of things came to a screeching halt for a while. And we know it'll rebound. I mean, it's dentistry, right? It has to. But so we expected that. But what we did is we contacted our supplier for some of our smaller components over in China. Good guy. We've been working with him a long time. And he has, these facilities, these production facilities or factories that make protective masks and all these other types of protective equipment. And so we sort of kind of jumped right in and saw a little bit of an opportunity as well as a great need, and decided that we were going to try to see if we could do something, both for the benefit of people as well as the benefit of our company, so that, at the end of this, we're not sitting there trying to figure out how the heck we can get moving again. It's all about cash flow, baby. So anyways, long story short, it's been a few weeks. I started out reaching to local hospitals in my area, in the New England area, and I was able to secure a PO for 1 million of them, 1 million masks. So that was awesome. We were all pumped up. Not to mention we have a lot of small orders, like 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 here and there. So there was a lot of business right off the bat. And then through a cousin of mine who is in the healthcare system, who works with a lot of these major hospital players and buyers out here. He's in sales, and so he's got direct contact links for all of these purchasers for these major hospitals, these big hospital organizations that run like 30 hospitals all under the one head. So he's been dealing with these people for years and has gained a lot of their trust through his professionalism and customer service and whatnot. And so I reached out and we chatted a bit, and I said, hey, can you put me in touch with somebody at so-and-so? And he said, yeah, let me see what I can do. So he got his friend involved, who's a little more plugged in than he is. And collectively, the two of them put me in touch with the lead buyers for a massive New England organization. I won't mention any names because I don't want to get in any trouble. But this organization does close to $20 billion a year. And it runs some of the largest hospitals in the Massachusetts, New England area. And so these buyers are in a frenzy right now, looking to acquire any sort of personal protective equipment that they can, and especially masks, because obviously that's how this virus is transmitted, through the mouth. So anyways, I got to talking to these people, and they started asking me questions that sounded like, would you be able to provide us with 10 million masks? And so, being the salesman that I am, I said, of course. Now, mind you, I had only delivered, a couple 100,000 at this point. So 10 million is a long cry from a couple 100,000. And so But you always say yes, and then you figure it out later. That's what I've learned in life. And so the worst thing that could happen is if you say yes and somehow it can't happen and you can't fulfill it, then you know, it is what it is. You work out the details from there. But in the beginning, you always say yes. You always say no problem. And then you scramble to figure out a way to figure it out. And so that's what I did. And so time went on. A few days passed. And I got a little nervous because I didn't hear back from them. So I sent out an email again, and I just gave them a rundown of our company. I said that we're a small company. I said we employ, maybe a dozen people. I said some of our employees have young children, and, we're just doing anything we can to try to stay alive and stay afloat right now, as is many other companies, I said. I said, we'll work hard for you. We'll do everything we can to make sure that you're satisfied with the masks as well as our service, yada, yada, yada. I basically gave them like a, 60-second sales pitch via email. And then I talked again with my cousin and his boy, and they said, all right, let me, I'm going to send in just another email to the main lady who does the purchasing, and just let them know that you guys are a trustworthy and reputable company, because they hadn't heard of us from a hole in the wall, right? We're in dental, and we're small in dental. So these big, large hospitals in the medical side of things, they don't even know who we are. And so he sent that email off. A couple days go by, still haven't heard anything back yet. Then I reach back out and I say to them, listen, I know that things are getting crazy with the masks. We're getting more orders. I just wanted to reach out and touch base again before I, accept any more purchase orders, because I'd love to work with you guys if there's a chance. I said, I'd love to send you some samples. I'll overnight some samples to you. So she replies right back and says, Jason, we'd love to see some samples. So now I'm kind of licking my chops a little bit. I'm like, okay, all right, we got something here. So I send her over a sample bag, 50 masks in the bag. At the same time, that same day that the samples arrive, I parlayed my 1 million PO, because my 1 million PO, the guys are awesome over there. They're 3 guys. They're the purchasers for this big hospital here in Rhode Island, and they're just awesome. So I said, you know what? They're happy with our service. That we seem to have a good, relationship with these guys. Let me ask them if they'd write a recommendation letter. So they did. They wrote it on letterhead. They sent it over saying that, our company is reliable. We've come through with what we've promised so far, and that it's been a joy to work with us. And so I just sent that over, right? I mean, this is how it works. You have to gain credibility. You have to do whatever you can to get one up on the competition. And so I sent that over as an attachment. 20 minutes after I sent that over as an attachment, on the day that the samples arrived, all right, the samples had arrived FedEx by 10:30. I sent that attachment over right around that time. Just before 11 o'clock, I get a email from the lady, and they want to purchase. They put in a purchase order for $1 million. Okay, so now I'm like, okay, cool. I'm happy. But obviously, it's not the number that she said in the beginning, the 10 million. That's what I really had my eye on. So I said, great, no problem. We can do that, blah, blah, blah. Got it all entered, get it all processed, set it up. The next day, I email her back, and I thank her again for working with us. And I just say, I said, we're thrilled to be able to have the chance to work with you guys. And please, if you're still interested in the larger order, let me know, and I can just add it in to the PO, and we can proceed with the deliveries until we fulfill it. And so the following morning, I get a call from another guy. He's another lead purchaser, and he says, "How you doing, Jason? I know that you've been working with Lisa, blah blah blah." And so he says, "I want to know if you can increase the number to 5 million." So I said, of course, yeah, we could definitely do that. No problem, right? All pumped, good phone call, get off the phone. We're all excited. We're like, yes, all right, we got a shot here, blah, blah, blah. 45 minutes later, he calls me back. Jason, I need to increase that to 10 million. Boom, done. 10 million PO for masks. So that's done. That came through amazingly. Then, as the couple days passed, and we're talking to our supplier, and, production's not the issue. It's cash, obviously. When you're ordering this many masks, it's cash flow. Everybody's prepayment now over in China because these things are like gold. And so we don't have the type of cash flow to front that amount of masks. And so obviously we started, thinking about smaller batches and what was the best way we could do this, blah, 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 because our delivery terms with this company was cash on delivery. So it wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't a net 30 or a net 60. It was, you pick up a check for $1 gazillion every time you dump, say, 500,000 masks to me. So it wasn't bad, but we wanted to try to make it easier on us because obviously in a cash pressed time for a lot of people, the last thing you want to have to do is pony up hundreds of thousands of dollars, excuse me, to get this moving. And so I was on the phone with the purchasers for this company, just giving them updates and talking, and I just got something in me, just said, you know what, ask the guy. It seemed like he was in a good mood. We kind of were joking about a couple things, and I just said to him, I said, between you and me on the side, I said, would your company ever be willing to, say prepay for $1 million at a time? Just threw it out there, right? Like this is never going to happen. This guy doesn't know me from a hole in the wall. Our company, they don't know our company from a hole in the wall. I've never even met these people face to face. It's just been a couple phone calls and a few emails. The closest thing to credibility they have on me is the recommendation letter and my cousin vouching for me. So I said, it's a long shot, but you know what? Desperate times call for desperate measures, and I need to get this PO filled. And so I asked him, and he came back and he said, he's like, typically when we do something like this, a prepayment option for such a large amount of cash, he's like, we will hold the company as collateral. And so my boss is sitting near me while I'm talking to this guy, and he's like listening, like, oh no, like what's going to happen here? And so I'm just being quiet, and I've learned not to say a lot when something like this is going down. And so he's like, typically we hold the company as collateral. And I'm like, oh, really? And then he's like talking to himself. He's talking himself through it. And then he says to me, but I don't know why, but you seem like a trustworthy guy. And I am. That's the good part, is I am. He's absolutely right. I am a trustworthy guy. I'm a man of my word, and I try to be a man of my word at all costs. I prefer to, honor my word and my promises more than anything else. And so he said, you seem like a trustworthy guy. He said, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wire you over the money for 1 million masks tomorrow. Okay, this was just a few days ago. He's like, and then how quickly can we get those? And so the conversation went on. But the new arrangement, which is incredible, is that they are going to prepay for 1 million every 2 weeks. And so, yeah, so that's my story. It's been an incredible couple of weeks. It's been incredibly stressful. It's been at times, it's just the levels of stress. Me and my boss were talking about this the other day. The levels of stress that we're going through right now in this mask stuff, with everybody wanting it so badly, exceeds our dental level stresses by 10 times. Because everybody wants them. They want them now. They demand that they get them by certain times, and then if you can't fulfill, you have to come up with it. It's a lot of stress. But when this last development took place with this big monster purchaser, it just was like a huge relief off of our back, because it's going to open up so much. It really is going to open up so much. So as of yesterday, the wire came through, and for an ungodly amount of money. And so all is good in that regard. And hopefully we will have their first shipment delivered in about a week and a half. And then it just will roll 10 times over. And hopefully many times after that, if we can prove the concept and show that, we're reliable. So that's my story, my little good news story right now. I know there's a lot of bad news, a lot of negative news in the world. That's the good news that I have to share with you. we've been able to sort of salvage our business for a while anyway. Because let's face it, I mean, we rely on trade shows and social gatherings, and right now, who knows when those things are going to come back? Will they come back this year, later on? I don't know. I mean, and if they do come back, how populated and how attended will they be with all of this stuff having just passed? I do believe that people will get back to normal, but it might not be until next year. We don't know. So this has just been an amazing transition, and from going from a dental equipment company, and now we're slanging masks. We're receiving kilos of vacuum sealed blue masks from overseas, like we're El Chapo, and slanging them and having people come by the shop like, dude, I need some. What can you get me? It's amazing. And so that's my story. That's my update. That's why I've been so absent, and it's not going to stop. I'm very busy. Going into the office right now, we're receiving more today, and those have to go out. So it never ends. But we feel like these latest developments have really helped, and they're going to take a huge burden off of our back, which is the cash flow management and making sure that we satisfy everybody while keeping the big monster fed. Now, the big monster is going to feed us, and in turn, he's going to feed all the little fishies below him. And it's going to be a beautiful thing. But anyways, folks, I appreciate you guys listening. I appreciate you tuning in. I hope you're all safe. I hope you're not sick. I hope that nobody's had to deal with a sickness, a COVID sickness, or a relative. I have. My wife's uncle in Ecuador actually died. Got the sickness. And up until that point, let me tell you, I was personally thinking like, all right, well, this is... obviously, it's serious, right? There's something to it. But there was a little small remnant, a 10% portion of me that said, what if this shit's all a hoax? What if this is all just kind of some sort of media or government plot to do something or whatever? And, and that I forced those feelings down because I just saw so much devastation and so much, sickness all over the world. And then this past weekend, actually it was Friday, I believe, we heard that my wife's uncle in Ecuador, he's about 60, large fella, overweight, probably had some health conditions, but he had it, and he was struggling to breathe. That was, I think, on Friday. And then 2 days later, Sunday morning, he died. Literally 48 hours because he couldn't breathe. I guess they got him on the tubes, and it was just too late. And that night, 6 p.m. Sunday night, the same night he died, they buried him because you can't, and they only had 5 people at the funeral because they don't allow social gatherings. So 5 people at the funeral, my wife FaceTimed in on it. It was terrible. And so that kind of like really solidified it that yes, this is very serious. And we need to be careful. So wear a mask. And no, I'm not just saying that because I now sell them. But wear a mask, man. When you go out, wear a mask. Stay protected. I know I didn't wear masks all the time, but I've found that now I wear them more. And yeah, we got to be careful, man. We have to be careful because you don't know if you have it and you could be infecting others. Who knows? But I hope you all are staying safe. I hope the IO battle is still being fought hard. I hope that it's gaining ground. I hear that it still is. I hear that newcomers are coming every day. I actually got an email from a guy. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. I got this email from a gentleman who listens to my show. See if I can find it. Bear with me. Hold on, I'm going back. It was a couple days ago. I wish I remembered his name because then I could just search for it. Oh, you know what? Hold on, let's see. He mentioned Don Preston, so I'll search for Don Preston. And no, that didn't come up either. What the heck? Bear with me a moment here. IO. Let's try IO. Here it is. Okay. So this guy is from Peru, in Lima, Peru. He says, "Hi, Jason. I wanted to congratulate you for the fantastic show you have on YouTube. And even I am not agree at all the way you are mocking Don, William, Michael, and the rest. I have to give you credit for your amazing talent. Here in Lima, Peru, we are in quarantine since we are passing through a difficult time for the coronavirus, as you know. But that gave me some free time to keep watching preterism videos and study the Bible. In the last 2 days, I found your channel, and I'm spending almost all my day to keep learning the IO position, which I have to recognize it is very potent, and you are really good at explaining the scriptures. Preterism in South America is just beginning, and we are a small group of 15 guys from different countries, and I mentioned to them about Israel-only position today, and they didn't know about this. They want to learn, but they do not speak English. So I was wondering if you had any videos in Spanish or with Spanish subtitles. Thanks in advance for your help, and please keep up the good work." So this gentleman emailed me from Lima, and I still get emails. I probably average 1 or 2 a week from random listeners or people that I've been communicating with. Even when I'm not, sharing stuff, people are still reaching out. And if I haven't responded, this is why. I've just been crazy. But this guy just came in the other day, and I thought it was kind of cool. He's in Peru, he's listening, and he did say that he's not agreeing the way that I mock Don, William, and Michael. And then I, explained to him that, my mockings of these guys, when I did do that in the past, was always directly related to certain things that I'd hear from people, certain ways that I hear people were bashing my name or dragging my name through the mud or saying false things about me. So, yeah, I can get a little carried away at times, and I do enjoy the dark sarcasm and different, tactics like that. But overall, there's no ill will. I don't wish ill will upon anybody. I just find that those particular gentlemen are very dishonest when they, when they teach the scriptures, especially now having seen the truth of IO and knowing the truth of IO. They're all but IO. They just need to take it that one last step, but they refuse to because they know that the backlash that they would receive would be significant, and they just don't want to handle that. With me, on the other hand, I just said, you know what? I'd rather have the truth. The truth is better. You can backlash me all you want. You can backhand me. You can talk crap about me, but I'll still have the truth, and it'll be comforting to me. And so that's why I share these things. That's why I share my findings, and that's why I try to help people out. So anyways, my friend, thank you for listening. I'm sure you're probably listening. I appreciate you checking out the channel. Pass it along to all your buddies in South America, and hopefully you guys can get some people on board. And I don't know about the Spanish videos, though, my man. I don't speak Spanish fluently, although my wife does. But I definitely do not want to ask her to translate these. That could be big problems. But anyways, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to me ramble and tell my story. I hope you all stay safe. And I do hope to come back to this once life gets back to normal, however long that may take. I haven't forgot about the critique of Ward Fenley's old anti-IO video. That'll come down the pike at some point too. But as of right now, I have no direction as to when that's going to be. I just need to keep forging ahead and doing what we're doing. So, thanks again, guys. Have a great day, and we'll catch you on that flippity floppity. Take care. Bye-bye.